It's a pretty wacky, pretty zany little story. So I figured, what better way to start off my weird YouTube channel than a real life account of my intimate and beautiful hospital stay. So, just a heads up, as a headline, the story is gonna get pretty weird and pretty gruesome at times. You will probably feel uncomfortable throughout this video. Just a disclaimer. So, now that I warned you, we got that out of the way. It started Thursday night. I'm at about 2 a.m. I think I'm playing 2K, and I get this. It's kind of this discomfort, kind of just this little pain. I'm not gonna tell you where yet, but so I'm like, okay, whatever. It's kind of it's just kind of uncomfortable. It'll go away. I'll sleep it off, whatever. Um, but I wait. It doesn't go away. So I'm like, all right, I'll take some pills, take some medicine, just let it cool down. About an hour goes by and it didn't stop. It just got worse and worse and worse and progressed. So I'm like, all right, this is bad, dude. So I gotta go get some ice, and this is my left nut, dude. That's where it is. That's where the pain is. That's where it happened to go. So it's getting bad enough. I'm getting ice. I'm icing my nut, and I'm like, man, it's not helping at all. It's not getting better, and it got to where I could not handle it, dude. It was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. It was killing me. I was at the point where I was laying on my ground, on the floor of my room, in the fetal position, curled up, trying not to throw up, trying not to cry because it hurt so bad. How it got this way, I have no idea. At this point, I have no idea what's going on. I got all these scenarios going on in my head. I'm like, man, is my nut about to fall off? Do I have testicular cancer? I mean, this is one of the things I go through. The kind of pain I was experiencing was no joke. So I'm going through all these possibilities in my head. I'm like, what is going on, man? So it finally got bad enough where I'm like, all right, I gotta wake my parents up. At this point, it's maybe 3:30, 3:34. So I call my dad. I'm like, hey, come down here. I got to talk to you. So he comes down. I tell him the situation. He's like, all right, let me go ask your mom what she wants to do. Because she wears the pants in the household. Don't tell him I said that. But so he takes his whip self upstairs, and he goes to get my mom. He's like, she comes down. She's like, all right, well, if nothing else is working, and she sees how much pain I'm in, and so she's like, all right. So they go upstairs, they get ready, so they decide to take me to the ER. I can barely walk, I get upstairs, any sort of movement at all is just killing me. And it's like starting to radiate more up towards my stomach and my abdomen, kind of around my back. And I'm like, we got to do something quick. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So I get up, and we're walking to the front door, and I'm like on my hands and knees waiting for them to get dressed and get ready, and it's terrible. So we drive, we get, with some help, we drive, we go to the ER, get checked in. Took forever. I don't know what they were doing. It's 4 in the morning. I know you're not busy. Y'all just back there playing on your phones or... Man, I don't know what they was doing. It was farting around. They were probably getting popping pills in the pharmacy or something. I don't know what they were doing. They're back there screwing around. Took forever to get us back there. Finally get back there, take my vitals. The doctor comes in. He's like this little Indian, Middle Eastern dude. Hello, how are you? Tell me about your nutsack. Tell me about your testicular pain. So I tell this dude to run down. He's like, okay, if you would guys would like to step out so I can maybe examine it. But you know, I knew he was gonna. I knew he was gonna. It was happening. At this point, I don't care. I'm in so much pain. I'm like, dude, if you want to just flick him around a little bit, if that'll make him feel better, go for it. I'm all in. So they go out. He starts poking around a little bit. I'm like, oh man, I feel like this dude had a steak knife and just going the speed bag of my ball sack, you know. So I'm like, all right, yeah. So I tell him what happens. He's like, okay, okay. I would like to do a sonogram, or whatever it was, to see what is going on. He's like, would you like some pain medicine? I said, yes, dude. Bring the morphine out. Strap me up. Pump me full of it. I'm like, yes, definitely. Oh, okay, we'll get you in there. So they bring in. She brings in a little. This. The nurse brings in a little needle. You know, I don't do needles. I'm not a needle guy. I don't. No, I can't do it. So I was like, man, this is terrible. I don't want to do this at all. But man, it's either this or, you know, deal with the pain. I'm like, you know what, whatever. She pops it in my butt, fills me up. I'm like, okay, I wait a little bit, and I'm like, I wait about 15, 30 minutes. Nothing. If anything, I think it got worse. And at this point, I've already thrown up once. I threw up when we first got there. But while we were waiting on them to give me a room, when they were back there finger popping each other's buttholes or whatever they were doing. So I puked in, and at this point I'm like, oh my gosh, man, I'm about to pass out. I'm seeing stars. I'm like, tell them it's no, bring them back in. So they're, all right, bring them back in. She comes in with the IV. I was like, oh, that was a bad idea. I shouldn't have told them. She was like, okay, we're going to do it. We get it straight into your bloodstream. We'll start working a little bit better. We'll start working a little bit faster. I'm like, you know what? Okay, whatever. Pop it in me. I'm about to freak out. I'm about to have a panic attack. There's tears running down my face. There's pain and the needles and everything is terrible. I'm like, okay, you know what? Just do it. Just do it. So they're pumping me full of this stuff, and it finally starts working, man. It's the good stuff. They got me some of the good stuff. They fill me up with that stuff, you know. This is the stuff that, you know, Eminem almost overdosed on, you know. So I was feeling good. So, no, they're pumping me up, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I'm like, okay. I'm chilling. They take me in the back, do the sonogram. I'm working. I had to cut out for a second because my mom brought me Chipotle. So, this dude gets the stuff out for the sonogram or whatever it's called. And he said he gets his stuff out to squirt it on there. He's like, it's going to be a little bit warm. So, you know, he squirts on there. I was like, ooh, that was warm. Like, I wasn't going to lie to you. I was like, okay, hey, that's enough. So he does his thing, you know. We go through this whole thing. He's rubbing around. I'm just laying there. I'm about to fall asleep because these painkillers they got me on is like horse tranquilizers, you know. So I'm like drooling down my chin. Not really, but so I'm about to fall asleep over here. He gets over it. It kind of gets painful sometimes, and he finally gets done. So after that, we gotta wait about 30 minutes for the results to come back. So I'm just chilling in the room in the emergency. He comes back in and he says, okay, so this is the update. The test revealed that you have a what do you say, a contorted testicle, which means, for those of you who don't know, which is probably wouldn't be many, my testicle was like this. Somehow, I have no idea how. You can make all the jokes you want. He's playing with his balls, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I have no idea how. My testicle is like this. It got turned completely around 360. That means all these cords up here that is connecting, and all this stuff up here, all these cords and strings and stuff, that means those, they're like that now. They're all twisted up, which means that I'm getting no blood flow to my left nut at all, which is causing the pain and causing complications. And if it's not taken care of right away, I lose my left nut. So he's telling me, I'm like, great, that's fantastic. That's, what better way to spend a Thursday night than to twist my nut up. And so he's like, okay, we're gonna send you to Wichita because we don't have any surgeons here that wanna do that specific surgery. So we're gonna send you to a urologist in Wichita right away. So we didn't want to take the ambulance, because this is already gonna be expensive, the emergency room and whatnot. So like, okay, we'll drive up there. So we drive up to Wichita for my emergency operation, which is where this one came from. I got this one from Winfield. That's why I got two of them. We drive up to Wichita for my emergency ball surgery, and we get up there. It takes forever, You wouldn't think it was emergency surgery because we had to wait for 45 minutes when we got there. So they finally take me back. I'm like, all right, put this gown on, strip down, get naked. They have me stripped down. I'm in this gown. I'm laying down. They're hooking stuff up, hooking my IV up, putting this stuff on me, getting me ready to go, taking my earrings out. And, as we're taking my earrings out, they're doing all these, there's like 30 different people coming and going and doing stuff. And the doctor comes in, tell me what we're going to do. He said, we're going to cut about an inch long incision, go in, turn it around. And because one is turned, there's a very high probability that the other is susceptible to turning around. So make sure it doesn't happen again. We're going to put some permanent stitches inside to make sure neither one of them gets turned around again. So I'm like, okay, whatever. As long as it helps. So they're coming and going, and they're asking me questions, making me sign stuff, all that. They take me back into the room. It's like, okay, you got me laying down, It's like, okay, there's some oxygen, breathe slow. Like, all right, so I fall asleep. They do their thing. About 30 minutes tops, I wake up maybe an hour and a half later. I'm laying in bed. I just wake up. That's the weirdest thing ever. Anesthesia is weird because you're just laying there for 1 second, then all of a sudden you sleep and you waking up and time has passed. You don't know where you are, what's going on. So they got me. They're in the emergency room. They're hooking me apart, getting me ready to go. Put my clothes back on. I got some stitches and bandages and stuff, and they gave me a jock strap for support. So I'm wearing this jock strap around with some bandages inside. I got stitches on my nutsack. My balls are still aching and sore. I'm still groggy from the pain medicine and the anesthesia. I'm hungry as a dog because I haven't eaten since last night. I've been up all night with excruciating nut pain. And it was just a wild ride. It was a wacky story. Only something that would happen to me. Who else on earth would have to go to the emergency room and get emergency surgery on a twisted nut other than yours truly? But I figured it's crazy, you wouldn't believe it. Nobody believed me when I told them at first. So I thought, what better way to start my YouTube channel when I'm dry on ideas. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. But there's my story about my emergency ball surgery and why I'm out of commission for a couple weeks. I'm gonna get healed up. I'm gonna get back to smashing poon immediately, of course.